What's up everybody, welcome to Money Management channel. My name is Andrei and today I'm gonna be doing an update on MMTLP and FINRA saga.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed, born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up.
And for today's video, basically we have day 2 of explanation of recent PR statement that was made by Next Bridge Hydrocarbons. And I have to say that we have a lot of discussions inside our community directly related to this document. Then I will show you some updates from Mark Basil, and I will show you part of his explanation in regards to this issue. On top of that, I will remind you about the most closest updates from the legal standpoint that we have to wait basically from this very point. And in general, this entire saga is still showing us that authorities are lying to us. So, and before we dive deep into all of this, guys, please hit the like button for YouTube algorithm. It is very important for me to have this support from you, from my viewers. That's why just hit the like button and that's it. So, and let's start with the news itself. You know that just 2 days ago, Next Bridge Hydrocarbons published their statement. They issued a press release. Next Bridge Hydrocarbons announces preliminary results of its Johnson's prospect drilling program, and it is not related to this drilling program. And guys, watch my recent video, yesterday's video, where I explained how this press release improved the intrinsic value of Next Bridge Hydrocarbon shares, and in my opinion it is a very interesting video. And for now we have a lot of updates. First of all, let me show you that Junk Savvy wrote this tweet 11 hours ago, and she published these 2 screenshots. One of them is the official, let me show you in details. It is the supplemental FAQ MMTLP corporate action and trading halt that was issued on November the 6th of last year. And as you can see, this screenshot is from official FINRA's website. Let me quote you this paragraph. So, based on FINRA's subsequent regulatory efforts, FINRA estimates that there was an aggregate short interest position in MMTLP in accounts held at broker-dealers as of December the 12th of approximately 2.65 million shares out of 165.47 million total shares outstanding, which is not a significant percentage, only 1.6% of the total shares outstanding. And the second part of this screenshot is the one paragraph from the Next Bridge Hydrocarbons press release that was issued just 2 days ago. And it says, for example, FINRA announced that its investigation showed an approximate aggregate short interest position in MMTLP of 2.65 million shares as of December the 12th, 2023. However, representatives of short sellers have approached Next Bridge about buying considerably more shares than this figure. And guys, yesterday in my video I told you that the only way how short sellers can cover their position and how they can escape from this situation is to buy shares from the issuer. And issuer is definitely Next Bridge Hydrocarbons. And when Next Bridge Hydrocarbons receives this type of requests, they definitely can evaluate the total number of these positions, because they have to sell these shares to these short sellers. And this is the pure discrepancy in these 2 official statements. This means some of these 2 entities are lying. And I don't think that Next Bridge Hydrocarbons is lying to us. Definitely it is FINRA. And let me show you that because of this, RareDD wrote this tweet with this quite funny gif from the Pixar movie. And he wrote, I think what we really need next week is another MMTLP/Next Bridge Hydrocarbons FAQ from FINRA. And Junk Savvy added, I feel a corrected FINRA FAQ supplement coming on. One problem, they don't know how many share buy requests McCabe is holding onto. Reminder, never play poker with Greg McCabe. And yes, for now, Greg knows for sure the exact number of these requests that he and his company already received from short sellers, but FINRA doesn't know it. And if FINRA will publish these numbers and it will be another discrepancy, and I'm sure that it will be the discrepancy in between the real number of short position and the number of requests that Greg McCabe has. And guys, they are basically trapped with their own actions, because they have to publish this FAQ, but they don't know the number of shares, and this means they will be caught again on the pure lie. And that is how we can potentially push this case forward to a subpoena, because Congress members should know that they are still not trying to solve this problem, but they are trying to make it even worse, and they are trying to push this case, they are trying basically to kick this can down the road for as long as possible. And let me show you that we also have even more evidence, documental evidence that FINRA is lying. Richard Hoffman published this tweet on January 19th, and I have to say that this information was disclosed by him in one of his recent live stream video, and I highly suggest you to subscribe to his YouTube channel, where he explains a lot in just simple words, a lot of facts about our current situation. And he wrote this: I have a document from Fidelity dated November 15, 2022, in which their ethics department cites that they could not sell MMTLP shares. That has nothing to do with corporate action notices. That has to do with the brokers knowing there were shenanigans going on. Yet, despite that, they still sold that empty paper to me post December the 5th, but pre-U3 halt December the 8th or the 9th of 2022. Not legal advice. And this means Richard has a pure evidence that Fidelity lied to him. And by the way, let me remind you that he is in the process of arbitration against Fidelity, and we are about to see some resolution in terms of the resignation of the panel of 3 jurors, because these 3 people don't want to solve this problem. They want to just kick this can down the road for as long as possible, and Richard is fighting against them. So let me show you another explanation from John Burda about the recent action that MMTLP community collects more data about the number of shares on the certain broker-dealer, and he wrote this: clearing up some issues on the voluntarily confidential request for stock holdings in broker-dealers. This task has been published because we want to be able to verify and track the amount of shares owned by the public versus shares that broker-dealers and clearing houses got in their bulk certificate versus what has already been transferred. When we expose broker-dealers like TradeStation, it helps tremendously in our work with Congress and state agencies, as the information becomes hard evidence of an imbalance, and therefore they are more likely to help us find the resolution. What this request is not about is a precursor to a class action lawsuit that I believe will not provide the best outcome for shareholders. Hope this helps. Don't know who to tag, so please pass along. And yes, it is completely up to you whether or not you want to share this information with the community, but definitely in the grand scheme of things, it will help a lot to solve this problem. On top of that, guys, let me show you some tweets that was written by Mark Bazil just recently in response to, for example, Roman Soups. And Roman Soups wrote, I think instead of typing to Flexbook knowledge on John Burda, maybe we should give him some homework. 1. Were preferred shares issued and unrestricted by transfer agent? 2. When did you find out there was no legend? 3. Did you make a reasonable effort for shareholders to remediate it when you found out the mistake? 4. Why did you not make an effort to correct the information on OTC market for new existing investors? 5. Did you file Form 144 to sell McCabe 2? And guys, on the one hand, it is quite reasonable questions, but on the other hand, we already have the answers on these questions. And let me show you what did Mark Basil respond. He said, most of this would apply to all of those OG holders initially, and it's not their fault. I don't see an exemption they could have used. The shares themselves were never registered. Don't confuse an exemption from the usual 15C-211 process used to secure a ticker and trade the securities. That's not the exemption. Romain Sup is looking at it's the actual issued security, Series A preferred shares itself, and whether that security was registered. There are very strict time periods that apply to restricted securities non-registered for public trading, regardless of the exemption used to get them trading. Maybe after the Rule 144 time period had been complied with, you so-called may be able to get an unsolicited order trading. But that does not look like that is the case here. Still, many unknowns, court cases and discovery will flush this all out. And on top of this statement, Mark said that he will, let me show you somewhere here, he will do a huge update in response, let me quote to this. Metamaterials prefer H shares with this QSIP number were never restricted, neither before getting assigned a ticker or after getting assigned a ticker. And Mark said, and there is a beginning of the problem. I have been saying from day one to look back at how this is all started. I will do more detailed posts in a few days. So, in a few days, he will explain what should we focus on in order to try to push this case forward in the most effective way. And definitely he is working on this issue. And guys, let me remind you that we basically have two most closest decisions to watch. First of all, it is a ruling to release the MMTLP blue sheet data. The case is in the New York Supreme Court Appeal and Division, defendant FINRA. And the second ruling to reveal the market makers that made MMTLP tradable. The case is in the New York Supreme Court, defendant OTC Markets. The rulings can come out any day now. And these two lawsuits were filed by Mark Basil's firm, and definitely he's a very knowledgeable person and he knows a lot how to push this case forward. And we will have more details from his point of view within next several days. And in general, guys, we have basically two questions about the current situation in order to show that FINRA published the corporate action that misled anyone on this market. So, Sensei wrote this. At this point, we have only two more questions regarding the MMTLP corporate action. Where did the 13th come from? And the second one, did MMAT actually pay for the amendment? And these two questions are crucial for now in order to show that FINRA made this gibberish by themselves. And it is a pure evidence, another evidence on top of the previous ones that we have to know and that we have to collect. And guys, for now, the only problem that we have for now is their immunity, their total immunity, because we collected a lot of facts proving that FINRA and SEC were the wrongdoers in this case. And they led the broker-dealers and the market makers to perform this illegal activity. They led them to do it. And with all of these evidence, like FOIL letters, like MMTLP corporate action that was misled by FINRA, like the discrepancy in the number of short positions, like the problems with the short sellers in general. We already know it, but every time when we try to push this forward to the court, FINRA denied all these facts by this simple word: we have a total immunity. And for now we have to challenge their immunity, and we are trying to do it with different approaches. And if you want to know more about these approaches, subscribe to my channel, hit notification bell and hit the like button. I will do another update, definitely tomorrow I will do another update as usual on MMTLP saga, and you will know more about this situation. So, see you guys and girls next time. Bye.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, doing no cap. Only God wants you.